It's not often where you find a scenario like we have today in Minnesota with the Twins and their really horrible record taking on the Baltimore Orioles and being the favorite, even when the pitching matchup is not that extreme one way or the other. But still, the Twins here at a minus 110 favorite. I'm going to back the Twins here. Baltimore, they haven't been scoring a lot of runs since the All Star break, and they're starting not really arguably, he's their worst starter so far this season. That's Ubaldo Jimenez, who's really struggled. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to back the Twins here. Baltimore having to travel to Minnesota. Minnesota's already been at home. And I'm going to go ahead and back the Twins here as a small favorite to go ahead and win this game. Let's start talking about these two teams here. Orioles are having a great season, but Jimenez, he's not. He comes in with an eye-popping 7.38 ERA, 1.97 WHIP. The Orioles are hitting 265 as a team. They're ranked sixth in the major leagues, and they're also, I mean, they're up there across the board offensively. They're ranked first in home runs per game. They're third in OPS, seventh in runs per game. So very good offense. But since the All-Star break, not that great. They're averaging about 3 runs per game, and the most they've scored in any of their ball games since the All-Star break is 5, which they did a few times. That's it. So not a ton of offensive production coming out of Baltimore. Again, I think this puts some decent value on going ahead and taking the small favorite here with Minnesota. I think they're a better team than their record shows, and they're starting a guy who's been pitching well his last 10 games. Good veteran pitcher here in Kyle Gibson. Let's talk about him. Gibson, he gets the start, and he comes in. 4.67 ERA, 1.39 WHIP. The Twins are averaging 4.39 runs per game. That ranks 18th in the major leagues. Offensively, they're not the worst in the league. They're actually not horrible. They're 14th in total bases. They're 16th in hits, 18th in OPS. So they're an okay hitting team. Like yesterday, they scored 7 runs. They scored 7 runs the day before both losses. A couple days before. Since the All-Star break, it's kind of been feast or famine with them. And I look from the score today off of Jimenez. Now Gibson, he's been pitching well. His last 10 starts, he's only had just a few bad outings. That's it. But recently, he's been facing some of the tougher hitting teams in the league, like Boston, Texas, and Cleveland. Now, versus those 3 teams, he's faced them 5 out of his last 10 games, and he's allowed just an average of 3 runs per game, and those guys can flat out hit. So he's doing a good job. He's coming off a great game in Boston where he allowed just 1 earned run and a couple of hits. So look for him to continue a good outing today, now back at home. And look for the Twins, kind of an upset, but it's not according to odds makers. I'm still going to back the Twins as a small favorite here. And that's my MLB pick, the Minnesota Twins against the Baltimore Orioles. And I wish you luck on your picks today.
Always on the go? Bet365 has one of the top mobile platforms in today's market. Sign up today and don't let your busy life keep you out of the game.